from Pan Africa. Like I told you guys in one of my videos, that if any update comes up with regards to Nigeria and Pan Africa, you all know that Pan Africa Forum has taken up the case against Nigeria government, the killings, illegal detention, the torture, enforced disappearance happening both in the north, west, east, every part of Nigeria. So I told you guys that if any update comes up, that I will bring it sharp. Right now there is an update from the chairman of Pan African Forum, and again I want you to pay very close attention because there are a lot of legal terms in this particular update, and I'm a legal person. So you get your name follow so that I follow together. Now let's go into it. In the matter of petition against Federal Republic of Nigeria for systematic and gross violation of human rights in multiple regions, Pan-Africa versus Federal Republic of Nigeria. I told you guys, na Nigeria dey chanka. Na how bago. How you know that time we be say them go just dey do people anyhow and nobody dey hear our voice. Right now, our voices are being heard all over the world, every part of the country. The awareness is very, very massive now. Whatever Nigeria is doing now, the illegal detention, all this abuse, all these human rights abuses, even some of these journalists will be say if they talk anything as regards to their job, they will go arrest them, shut them up, buy them. All those things where they happen for Nigeria, every part of the world, they are aware of it. So now, let's go into this particular update. Kindly share this video, please, as you are listening. Again, the more reason I always read this update out is because I want to make it more easier for my audience, especially those of you who may not be able to read out long notes, long write-up, and some people who will, when you hear something, some people understand much better than reading, some may not have time to read now. Although I'm going to drop the petition under the comment section, but in case I forget, just listen very carefully so that we'll flow together, because there are a lot of legal terms in this particular update. Because I want you people to understand this part very, very well. Nation versus nation, as Nigeria versus Biafra government versus Finland, Now let's go into the main matter right now. Please share this video as you are listening, follow this page, or subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, and leave the notification bell on, please. Okay? Petition against Nigeria government by Pan Africa Forum and Associates. Under Article 6 and 13 of the Constitutive Act of African Union and African Charter on Human and People's Rights, respectively, Rule 32 of 1, Rule 39 of 1, 41 of the Rule Access to Court, and Article 531 and Article 34, all these protocol to the Africa Charter on Human and People's Rights on establishment of Africa Commission on Human and People's.
Ndeweno Igbo mununze mozo ekele monu kukere onye tabiko ya mara nwoke ma mara nwaanyị mma emu ndị nwe m na ndị nwe obiko ihe onyonyo anyị ji ọsọ clip now all ife na emefugo ka echwere onye isi oche. Nigerian government are trying very hard. In fact, we are talking about France colonizing Nigeria, and Nigeria are trying hard to colonize Biafrans. You can imagine that kind of rubbish. The video you just finished watch now speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of volumes that Nigeria they are now contending, or rather, they are going to contend with the Pan-African Forum, both UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. All these people have come together and said that Nigeria must put to accountability, let them come account how many people they are killing on daily basis. When the Pan-African president, Mr. David Masanga, saw the video and circulating pictures of bandit leaders, terrorist leaders who hardened ones, who have killed and murdered many people, are now sitting in a round table discussion with the Nigerian government. That is when they understand that, man, that this country is irredeemable. Very, very irredeemable. With propaganda, they arrested Gentle to Yahoo. Propaganda, not like Israel. God, I beg you. Well, let me not take much of your time. I would like you to complete watching that program from our sister Nikki Agnes, who is always out there to give us the news the way it's supposed to be. So as you are watching, kindly drop your personal opinion at the comment section of the video. Please make sure this video goes viral, circulate it, so that every Tom and Jerry and every Dick and Harry will then get the video and use it for what it is meant to be. Well, on that note, I will see you again when I come back. Make sure this video get the appropriate views from the appropriate quarters so that the right thing could be done. Nigerian government is up for sale, and the Pan-African have vowed that they must dissolve Nigeria, because Nigeria is just like an entity. It's not a country, neither is it a nation. So this group of well concerned Africans have come together and said that enough is enough, giving amnesty to hardened terrorists, recruiting them into your military, into your police, into your into your customs, and then the truth tellers are now being the one being subdued and kept under serious attack. I be under serious surveillance. But anyway, let us not waste most of your time. And I go hear my voice again when we come back. As you're watching, kindly drop your own personal opinion at the comment section of this video. Without you, there will be no me. All my people, Keynesiano.
Human and People's Rights on establishment of Africa Commission on Human and People's Rights. The applicant or petitioner, which is Pan-Africa, is an organization carrying out Pan-Africa work in defense of Africa, globally accredited to many peace missions internationally with combined work experience of 20 years. It is supported by the 4 governments who are members of African Union who have ratified the African Union on Human and People's Rights Protocol and deposited instrument, and the address of applicant for purposes of this petition shall be Pan-African Forum Limited and Associate, London, United Kingdom. They will also attach their email address. The respondent is the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by Learned Attorney General of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Federal Ministry of Justice. The applicant, which is Pan-Africa, undertakes to effect service of the court process on it. The applicant, the Pan-African Forum, a renowned civil society organization in Africa, hereby submit this petition to African Union Commission on Peoples and Human Rights, hereinafter known as Commission, pursuant to Article 55 and 56 of African Charter on Human and People's Rights, hereinafter known as the Charter, and Rule 100 of Commission's Rule of Procedure 2020. The petition alleged systemic and gross violation of human rights by Federal Republic of Nigeria, herein refers to the respondent state, a state party to the Charter in multiple regions, including but not limited to Southeastern, Northeastern, North, Northwestern, Middle Belt, Southwest, and South-South in contravention of Charter and other international instruments. The petitioner seeks urgent intervention by the Commission to address ongoing violations, including arbitrary detention, extrajudicial killings, torture, enforced disappearance, and restriction on freedom of speech and association, which disappropriately affect vulnerable populations such as political opponents, journalists, human rights defenders, and minority communities. Now, jurisdiction and admissibility. The Commission has jurisdiction over the petition pursuant to Article 55 of the Charter, which allows individuals, groups, or NGOs to submit petition alleging violation of the Charter by a state party. The Federal Republic of Nigeria ratified this charter on the 2nd June 1983 and is bound by its provision. The Commission satisfied the admissibility criteria pursuant to Article 56 of the Charter, to wit, that the petitioner is clearly identified as Pan-African Forum Limited, a civil society organization engaged in peace and human rights work in Africa with observer status before the Commission. The alleged violations that include detention of civilians, including women and minors, execution, sexual violence, enforced disappearance, area bombardment of civilian zone, among others falling with the scope of rights guaranteed under the Charter, including Article 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 13, that the petition is presented in a professional and respectful manner, that the allegations are supported by reports from credible sources, including Human Rights Watch, the International Commission of Jurists, and the Nigeria Civil Society Organization, that the domestic remedies are unavailable, ineffective, or unduly prolonged due to systemic judicial challenges in Nigeria, including executive interference, underfunding, and delay in the court system as documented by Human Rights Watch. That this petition is not time-barred since the violations are ongoing and thought it is submitted within a reasonable time. That this petition is not pending or submitted before another international tribunal for adjudication. That this petition is not based solely on media report but is grounded on first-hand account and documented patterns of violation. Now, the facts that constituted the cause of the action of the petition. This petition brings to the Commission's attention credible, widespread, and systematic violation of human rights by security agencies of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The violations have occurred across southeastern Nigeria, northeastern Nigeria, northern Nigeria, northwestern Nigeria, the Middle Belt, the southwest, the south-south region of Nigeria. These actions violate Nigeria's obligations under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the Maputo Protocol, and other binding region and international human rights instruments. The specific violations are: in the southeastern region, since 2016, Nigeria security forces have violently cracked down on members and supporters of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, including the use of live ammunition on peaceful demonstrators. Amnesty International report 2016 and 2018 documented over 150 extrajudicial executions during peaceful protests in cities such as Onitsha and Aba. Ongoing suppression of pro-Biafra gathering violate the right to life, liberty, and assembly and expression. In northeastern region, the anti-insurgency operation have marked by arbitrary mass detention of civilians, including women and minors, executions, sexual violence, enforced disappearance, area bombardment of civilian zones, and UN, OHCR, CHR, and Human Rights Watch have detailed widespread abuse within military detention facilities, including Giwa Barracks. In northern Nigeria, northwest Nigeria, and the Middle Belt, these regions experience recurrent armed conflict, state-backed operation, and retaliatory violence affecting thousands of civilians. Military response to banditry and intercommunal clashes have led to mass civilian casualties, displacement, and destruction of property, grave violation including extrajudicial killings, arbitrary detention, and denial of access to humanitarian aid. In southwestern Nigeria, notably during after the EndSARS protests, the use of excessive force, torture, and arbitrary arrest of civil society actors and demonstrators has been documented. Violation of right to assembly, expression, personal liberty, and protection from inhuman treatment have occurred across Lagos and adjoining states. In the south-south region, in the oil-producing southern region, security operations linked to environmental activism and community protests have resulted in extrajudicial killing and repression. Communities protesting environmental degradation and resources exploitation have been met with militarized crackdowns. Human Rights Watch has reported torture, forced displacement, and arbitrary arrest in states including Rivers, Bayelsa, and Delta states. Now, the legal basis of the claims of gross violation of the African Charter. The respondent state has violated the following provisions of the Charter. 1. Failure by the state party to enact legislation and measures to give effect to the Charter's rights as evidenced by the inadequate judicial funding and lack of accountability for violation. 2. Discrimination in enjoyment of rights, particularly against political opponents and minority groups in conflict-affected areas. 3. Denial of equality before the law due to executive interference in judicial process. 4. Violation of right to life through extrajudicial killing and life-threatening detention conditions. 5. Use of torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment in detention facilities. 6. Arbitrary detention and enforced disappearances, particularly in counter-terrorism operations. 7. Denial of fair trial rights due to judicial delays, corruption, and special tribunals bypassing regular courts. 9. Restriction on freedom of expression through repressive law and persecutions. 13. Denial of the right to participate in government as seen in unfair election processes and annulment of elections. 15. That the respondent state violated additional instruments such as the Protocol to the African Charter on the Right of Women in Africa, Maputo Protocol, the Charter on the Right and Welfare of the Child, the United Nations Convention against the Torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, among others. Exhaustion of the domestic remedies. That the petitioner submits that the domestic remedies are unavailable, ineffective, or unduly prolonged due to systemic judicial challenges, that the courts are underfunded, overcrowded, and subject to executive interference, leading to delay in both criminal and civil matters, that the special tribunal bypass regular courts, undermining fair trial guarantees, the state parties' failure to investigate high-profile cases, that pursuant to Article 56 of 5 of the Charter, the petitioner asserts that the caution requirement is waived due to these systemic barriers. Request for provisional measure that pursuant to Rule 100 of one of the Commission's Rule of Procedure 2020, the petitioners request urgent provisional measures to prevent irreparable harm, including an immediate halt to the ongoing arbitrary detention and execution, particularly in regions affected by counter-terrorism operations, the release of individuals detained without charge or on spurious grounds, such as political opponents and journalists, an independent investigation into allegations of extrajudicial killings, torture, and enforced disappearances, guarantees of safety for human rights defenders, journalists, and activists facing reprisals. Wherefore, the petitioner prayed that judgment be entered against the respondent state for a declaration that respondent state violated of its obligation under the African Charter, the Maputo Protocol, and other relevant instruments. B. An order that the respondent state halt all ongoing violation and ensure independent and credible investigation and prosecutions. C. An award of full reparation, including compensation, restitution, and guarantees of non-repetition to victims and their families. D. A direction that the state party grants unfettered access to international and regional human rights monitors in all affected areas. E. A recommendation that structural reform to the state parties, military and police institutions to align them with international human rights standards. F. The cost of petition shall be provided by the respondent state. Signed, my people. This is no longer a joke. Just watch your screen, as you can see. I'll still drop all these things in the comment section. You can save and read them on your own. It's no longer a joke. My people, I hope you understand this petition. It is a very serious and delicate issue. Oborozikwe as business as usual. Nigeria, Abago, deep mess. This case is a very serious one. Nigeria, they have their representative, the Attorney General of Nigeria, and Minister of one. Nigeria, they have their representative, the Attorney General of Nigeria, and Minister of Justice. They should go to Africa court and answer the queries as to why all these killings going on in Nigeria and they are not doing anything about illegal detentions, human rights abuses, killings every day by day, killings in thousands, both women, children, adult, old, young men, old. Dika, all these atrocities happening in Nigeria. They should go to African court, stand and answer to all these atrocities. You know, forget when they say that Nigeria is a failed state, which normal country will be behaving like this? All they care about is to embezzle the public fund, not caring about the citizens, the people they framed that voted them into the seat. Whereas nobody voted them, they just bought the seat themselves. All the whole human rights, whatever that Nigeria said they have fundamental human rights, none of them is in practical, it's only in theory. Just energy people make measures. It's a very delicate issue. Share this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Any further updates, sharp. For now, call the one.